We are on top of some breaking news right now we want to get to. Skyfox is over the scene of a rescue in Carlsbad. This is on Carlsbad Boulevard and Palomar Airport Road. This call came in just about 20-30 minutes ago where we see this vehicle and you see somebody walking over to it. We don't know a lot of information regarding who might be in that vehicle, exactly how it ended up there. It could have potentially gone straight off that cliff. I'm trying to think here. Palomar Airport Road, the road kind of veers off to the north, so there's not really a direct path from Palomar Airport Road itself straight down over the beach. But nevertheless, there are cars that do go along Carlsbad Boulevard, and easily, somebody could have had an accident and gone off the cliff that way. But you do see a lot of rescue personnel there. We have, looks like dozens of people there right now. As we pull out, let's see if we can get a better understanding of the rescue personnel up top as well. And there you kind of see it. There's Carlsbad Boulevard there on the left. Wish we had a lot of some more details regarding who might be injured, but there you go. There you see the fire truck, and you see all the personnel. It looks like obviously Carlsbad Boulevard is shut down right now in both directions. Top left part of your screen is what I was talking about there. Palomar Airport Road, if you're going north, kind of veers there onto the northbound direction. But both directions now closed. And you see an area there that's also looks like cordoned off, so people don't go into that area. But dozens of people and a really worrisome scene there when you see a vehicle on its side like that down. That's got to be at least 30 feet, probably more than that as far as a drop goes. Just kind of estimating, but you do have that car that's in the ocean and getting washed up upon, but there's not a lot of concern for the car right now, so you'd have to imagine that anybody who was in there has been pulled out and they're trying to help that person. All right, Phil Blauer also tracking this. Phil, you getting any more information beyond what we know so far?
Well, it's chopper zooming in right now, Andrew, and that is at least one person who's in a rescue basket, and they're going to have to hoist that person up. But they are there. It looks like they're maybe conscious and talking to the rescue personnel, but they're just securing them in that basket. They're going to hoist it up. It looked like when the chopper was swinging around there that you could clearly see that they went through some sort of fencing there and then ended up on the rocks below and onto the beach there. So there you see that looks like a gentleman who is now strapped in there with the Carlsbad Fire Department. And I saw earlier there was like a tripod sort of winch thing that they're going to use to hoist this gentleman up there and get him to first aid as soon as possible. You've got lifeguards obviously on the scene there. But again, this could be a situation where maybe that person was coming down and they hit the gas instead of the brakes. You see that what I'm talking about, Andrew, in the middle of your screen there. It looks like some sort of triangle there. I think that's going to be part of the winch effort here. But again, it looks like that person went right through that fencing there along that trail and then ended up somehow down over those rocks and onto the beach below.
Yeah, so it's not a close path there. You see all the cars that park right there along Carlsbad Boulevard. I mean, it's not right there. There is, probably 50 feet, 100 feet, 150 feet. I'm just kind of, guessing from what we're seeing and what I can recall from exactly that spot. But there's a good distance there. It's not like you're driving along the road and you make a mistake and you go off. So you have to wonder exactly how that vehicle went, in that direction and how they ended up down there. But if it did in fact go over the fence like you're surmising there, Phil, I mean that is a precarious fall and one that you can just hope that person is able to be okay from. I mean, a lot of people there helping on the scene. Again, the call came in right around 5:10. They've been out there for about 40 minutes trying to help this person. Like we said, the car itself on its side and not really being attended to. So you have to hope that the person they're attending to was the only person, Phil, who was inside the vehicle.
Yeah, and you mentioned also the traffic issue right there, Andrew. It's pretty bad. It's basically at a standstill. They've had to close it off. Let's see where the chopper is going now. Maybe trying to figure out how the gentleman got through there.
Oh, yeah,
that looks like there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, the guardrail. So is that where the road ends? Okay. Does it come across there?
Right. So look at the top left part of your screen. Say what kind of veers onto the northbound side. They may have come straight down Palomar Airport Road and straight across traffic. At that speed, that would make a little bit more sense as to how they got across that entire area, ended up through this fence as well, and then ended up on the bottom part. Now that kind of ground cover is that really hardy kind of ground cover that you wouldn't necessarily see car tracks, especially not from Skyfox's height.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you'd see it if it was grass, for example. This is not that grass; it's that hardy ground cover, and that's perhaps why we don't see the tire tracks from this height.
Yeah, this could have been maybe a medical issues. That person was coming down and simply they went through that, as you mentioned, Andrew, that guardrail there, then through the ice planter, that ground cover, and then through that chain link fence that's along that trail there. And then, of course, that's, as you said also, I believe it's probably a 35, 40-foot drop right down over those rocks down onto the beach below. So hopefully this person is going to be okay. And there you see the rescue personnel bringing up that gentleman up the side there, and they'll hopefully get him in an ambulance and get him to the hospital as soon as possible.
Right,
Andrew?
Yeah, we'll continue to keep an eye on what's going on here as this rescue continues. We're going to take a quick break here on the Fox 5 News at 5. We'll be right back.